I'm sorry, I shouldn't say that. You mean I read about him? What you say Zayd Madkhali said about him? And he didn't read it? You mean I read about him? What Sheikh Ahmed Najmi said about him? When it's described to him, he says, Mubtadi, fa'ran, turn away from him. You mean I read about him and is still on righteous path? What Ahmad Basmool said in detail about him, but he doesn't know? Someone who doesn't possess something can't give it. The only one he knows about is Sheikh Faleh, and he chose them specifically for a reason that we may or may not get to in this lecture.
As for Sheikh Rabi and other than them, they never made tabdi of me. People said that I also am a follower of Abu Hassan al-Ma'rabi, and wallahi may the curse of Allah be upon me and my children if I'm lying.
Mahlan, take it easy. Mahlan, akhi. Don't do that, please. Don't hurt yourself. Hey, curse of Allah on my children. I mean, that's, you want it to be the furthest from your children. But this is something that they always had a habit of saying. May I die a Jew if such and such has happened. No. What you want to die a Jew for? Ask for the help of Allah Ta'ala. Die a Jew. So let him finish talking about the curse.
And may Allah cause us to die as Jews if I'm lying or if I'm playing any games. I am not a follower of Abu Hassan al-Ma'rabi. If he came into the masjid, I wouldn't know him and he wouldn't know me.
Yeah. I don't know, maybe you suddenly got blind. And he said, Subhanallah, akhi. And listen to the point that he's saying he's not a follower of Sheikh Abu Hassan al-Ma'rabi. Because, personally, I believe it's the second head of the same coin. That much of what he was saying, if not all, was what Ma'rabi was saying. To the degree, like our brother Abu Hassan Malik said, he put about 7 tapes together and listened to them. And he said, you really couldn't tell where Abu Hassan Ma'rabi started and where Goldi's Abu Usamah Dhahabi began. If you listen to them. He was a defender, staunch defender of the man early on. But the interesting here is that he said he's not a follower. Because later on he wants to be treated like a follower. Back and forth. Back and forth.
All I said was, I don't see the man as being a deviant because of the ikhtilaf that remains between him and Sheikh Rabi'. I don't see the man as being a deviant.
إن كان كلام من فضة فالسكوت من ذهب. If talk is from silver, then silence is golden. No one told you, akhi. Who told you you were the man in the man of the ummah? Who told you were supposed to talk in these issues, in these affairs? Who told you that I didn't think? Like the guy who says Indi. They say, you don't have an Indi. Who would be Indi? Your opinion. Who told you that you had that position? Isn't this, since you like to call everyone as ghulat, isn't this the position of ghulu? That you place yourself in a position in front of Sheikh Rabi' and in all the other mashayikh, and it's as if your opinion counted? Even if you held that was the case, or was it the case, would not have maslahah dictated that you kept that to yourself? Especially if you're not an alim, a scholar in any endeavor or any affair, let alone jarh wa ta'deel. This is craziness. Who told you you had a right to speak? Who told you you had a right to say something? Who told you that the Ummah was waiting on you to speak? Or that the Ummah was waiting, that no one was waiting on you to speak except those Masakeen brothers who haven't studied Kitab and haven't studied Sunnah and haven't got on the understanding yet of taking from the Salaf Salih and from the Ulama. They're the ones waiting for you to say something. Everyone else could care less if you spoke or were silent. Matter of fact, they'd probably be more at ease with your silence.
That is the position of other ulama.
Okay, Jayyid. Ikhtilaf. Let's go back a second.
Came into the masjid, I wouldn't know him and he wouldn't know me. All I said was, I don't see the man as being a deviant.
It's enough.
Because of the ikhtilaf that remains between him and Sheikh Rabi'.
He gives you the impression that the ikhtilaf is between who? Him and Sheikh Rabi'. Him and Sheikh Rabi'. Is that the case? Case where Ma'arabi is between? Jayyid. Except with istithna'at qalila. First one to talk about Ma'arabi was Sheikh Mukbil. By those who were around him, Sheikh Mukbil said, I fear for this da'wah from this man Abu Hassan. Sheikh Mukbil, number one. He doesn't mention him. Sheikh Allama Ahmad ibn Yahya al-Najmi, the same who spoke about him. He's also spoke in detail regarding Abu Hassan. Sheikh Allama Fari ibn Nafi, they put the, actually it should be, because Sheikh Fari is not from the Allama. Sheikh Fari ibn Nafi al-Harbi, Sheikh al-Fadhi Ubayd al-Jabiri, Sheikh Saleh al-Luhaydan, head of, a member of the Kibar Ulama, a member of Hayat al-Kibar Ulama, Ra'is al-Majlis Qada al-A'la, the head, the presidency of the higher judicial matters. He spoke about him. Or did you forget him? Or did you forget him also? Sheikh Abdul Aziz al-Bura'i, Sheikh Allama Salih Fawzan. He was asked about him on a couple occasions. And when he was asked about him regarding one situation, he said something good. Other situations were described to him regarding Ma'arabi's situation of the Ghuthaiyyah, where he talked about the Sahaba. Then he said something bad about him. Sheikh Muhammad ibn Wahhab al-Banna, you know Sheikh al-Banna in Mecca. Sheikh Salih al-Suhaimi, Sheikh Muhammad ibn Hadi al-Madkhali, Sheikh Abdul al-Bukhari, Sheikh Umar Bazmul, and his brother Ahmad Bazmul, Sheikh Yahya Hajuri. Sounds to me that there's more here than just Sheikh Rabi'. The difference between him and Sheikh Rabi'. Which seems to me that there's a general principle that is at work here. And that is, Hukum ala shay fara'an tasawwirih. To rule upon something is a branch or aspect of understanding it. And if he thinks the issue is just between Ma'arabi and Sheikh Rabi', then there's no wonder why he's mistaken in the issue. There's no wonder why he's mistaken in the issue. Because it's more than that. And therefore he hasn't read what others have said, has he? He hasn't looked to the others and see what they've said, because if he had it, he would have mentioned them. Also, it should be known that they are over, and we can read them by name, but we don't have the time. Over, as Sheikh Mukbil used to say, Ma'adha ya ikhwan, Ma'adha ya ikhwan. There's over 218 responses against Ma'arabi. 218.